Sorry about that. I'll try with the microphone on. Yes. Tonight, my neighbour came out and basically had a go at me for putting up the door camera under the advice of the police. She took a photograph of me and she told me that I wasn't allowed a door camera and that she would get the council to come and remove it tomorrow, which sort of hints that there's something going on inside the council, because not many people can say they can get the council out tomorrow to do something. So if the council do come out tomorrow, can I call the police? The police are coming round now anyway. Can I call the police to prevent either theft or criminal damage? Because the police told me I could put it up. I've got it tuned perfect now anyway. It's focused right. It's protecting my entire doorstep now. Because I've been able to take the antenna off, I can actually tune it to the right spot. But my heart rate's over 100. God knows what my blood pressure is. Oh, I've got a viewer. I've got a viewer out there. Hello, viewer. Thank you for joining me. Is that you? Hold on. Let's see. See if it's my viewer. Waiting for the police to pick you up. Yeah, no. I've got a friend that keeps sending me pictures of chocolate. That's cruel, man. I've got none in the ass. So, I've once again complained to the police and Sharon Allen Caby, I think the name is. I'm not very good with double-barreled names. I always get letters mixed up. And basically, it's a bit to both. And I've basically asked both of them, you know, why am I being treated like this? I'm only putting a bloody door camera up because your tenants are abusive, have no respect for security, and keep threatening me and abusing me. I mean, the fact they're all in breach of their tenancies, and I've got paperwork here to prove it, and nothing gets done. My housing officer came here about 3-4 weeks ago, took a photograph of my door, walked past all the stuff, all the personal items in the fire escape. This camera is a bit weird, isn't it? I'll sort it out tomorrow. I was testing it earlier this afternoon and it seemed to be working fine. But when I'm streaming, maybe it's something to do with the stream. And he walked past all the personal items which he said 6 months ago would be removed immediately without further warning. That doesn't sound right, does it? And as Waltham Forest Council have not explained themselves and have not said why other people being treated more favourably than I, because my English is pretty good, you see, not than me, than I, then I have to assume it's either based on disability or race. I don't know. Such is life, people. So what's been happening today? I've washed my duvet, finally, about a week after the cat weed on it. That's how depressed I've been. I've let the duvet stay there. It's got a waterproof membrane, so it's just in the duvet cover. So I've washed that, I've got it on the radiator, drying. I mopped the floors yesterday, gave the place a bit of a dust today, and I have, strangely enough, been coughing less today since I dusted. So there's no one there. How long have I been on? It's probably only 10 minutes or something. I think I might cut it short tonight anyway because I'm waiting for the police and I'm shaking like a leaf. And I don't know what to say really because, you know, one day is pretty much the same as another. No, Caspi, please get... Hold on, people. Sorry about that. Caspi, come on, babe. He's going to have a go at the cables again. The only thing that's progressed really is I've asked victim support to contact Sharon again. Sharon doesn't want to talk to victim support. She just wants to email me threats about single point of contact and removing my human rights. Nice woman. See where her staff get the attitude, didn't you? And Housing Ombudsman have stepped up the case to stage 3 now. It's at the... Caspi, I'm not going to hit you. Come here. Say hello to the crew, Caspi. Caspi. No, don't hit your head on the thing. Caspi. YouTube, Caspi. Yeah, so... what is it? Something in mediation. Oh, I can't even remember now. It was only 12 hours ago. Anyway, it's at stage 3 and it's going to go over to their service and they're going through cases quite quickly at the moment, apparently. But the trouble is, if they just go by paperwork, I'm not sure how I'm going to approve all this because the council are very clever with it. He came out, number 11, took a photograph of me, told me I can't have a door camera, you can't have a door camera, I'm going to get the council to come down and remove it tomorrow. And I turned round to all calm and said, well, the police have told me I can have a camera. Well, I'm going to get the council down anyway and have it removed. And I've been getting that, I would say since February, but basically since lockdown. They were all right with the camera for 2 years and then all of a sudden, lockdown, bang, they complain about the camera.
Okay. I can't do anything about the children playing.
No, I don't expect any. Yeah, it's a council issue.
Yeah, it's a council. I don't know. Obviously, we've seen something the council have said saying you've got to take it down by the 23rd of October. They'll remove it because everything's belonging to them. Obviously, if they come down and remove it, you'll have to take it down. That's it, done then.
Yeah, but I've got approval from Jane Sergeant.
Yeah, don't worry about what my sergeant says. I've spoken to my sergeant. My sergeant can only go on what we know. If the council have said that's their property, the communal area, and you can't record in the communal area, then
But I had someone else on 101 yesterday or this morning say I should be able to put camera.
I think they obviously don't know in what context of what it is and where it is and that. And obviously if the council own the property and they own the communal area and they're saying that there are no recordings in the communal area unless they put them in, then obviously you have to follow council guidelines because they can just come and remove it because it's their property.
So why am I being told by the police, police people, that I can have a camera?
I'll be honest with you, sir. I read your CAD, and the first thing I said, well, it's a civil dispute. It's not a police matter.
I know it is.
You can't stop people. However, now I've read the thing from the council. It's not like this is your private property in your house, and it's onto your front driveway, which is what people are probably picturing. It's actually your camera onto a communal area upstairs.
You've been taking photographing my front door.
Yeah, you can photograph people's front door, you can photograph people's front door. But because the council has specifically said that camera needs to be done by the 23rd of October and it is their property, then actually...
But no one else has been told to take their cameras down.
Who's got cameras?
I can't get that information from the council. But I know people, because I'm not getting information from the council, I've actually started campaigning on Facebook. I'm getting lots of people saying I've got a door camera in, I've got the flat.
Well, like I said, that's something you're going to have to take up with the council.
They're not talking to me.
Okay, well, you're
they haven't been talking to me since March, I would say.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to persevere and carry on emailing and escalating it and asking the managers, so that's what you're gonna have to do. I've certainly seen an email from the council saying that the camera has to come down, so they are communicating. And if you've got proof that you're sending emails, making phone calls, registering the dates, the times you're doing this, and it's not coming forward, then fine. But if you've got nothing to say that you are actually doing this, But what I'll do is take your details, I'm going to put on a report to say obviously this is affecting how you live, that's why you put the camera back up, which will go to social services to see if they can help you further, give you a bit more support. And I've also said to number 11 we'll get the Safe Neighbourhood team involved, which apparently they are, to contact you both, see how they can resolve this. But
I don't like getting you guys in, never mind the Safe Neighbourhood team, because they do enough for me. They keep popping round every now and then, just make sure I'm all right when they're passing.
Who comes around to see you?
The Safe Neighbourhood team.
What's the name?
I can't remember. There's a round-faced Asian bloke and some other person. It's normally him and one of the other people.
Mm. Well, I will email them to say that what you called in on, and I'll put a little report to social services for you, just to say that the reason you put the camera back up is because there's children and noise, and you just feel like with your anxiety.
No, don't even go with the children. It's nothing to do with the children. I'm doing it because I'm getting attacked by the adults.
Oh right, so it's
not about the children, it's about the adults threatening. I've had threats and people at my door shouting at me. I've had people trespassing. Trespassing.
What does that mean?
Actually coming in without me letting them. They just stormed through the door. They followed me up the stairs and came in.
Oh right, in the communal area?
No, number 3, he came up and he started shouting at me all the way up the stairs.
What was he shouting at you about?
Because he lost his gardening privileges on the estate.
Oh right.
Because I reported him for being a cannabis user.
Okay.
And I said, is this what you want? Cannabis users around children? And they took his gardening privileges off. And as soon as I came back in, he followed me up the stairs. I pushed him out the door 4 times.
Does the Safe Neighbourhoods know all about this?
Well, they should, because I've emailed them and I've sent them.
Who emailed?
Oh, it's the generic mailbox. They have received finally the recording I've done of the bloke downstairs.
Have they replied back to you?
Well, because it was so long ago, because I didn't get told it was a police thing, I just sent it to housing. And it was only like 3 months ago that housing said, well, you know, you can keep going on about it, Mr. Gibbons, but it's a police issue. That's the first time I got told it was a police issue.
Right.
But because it was like 15, 16 months after the event, Safer Neighbourhood said, well, there's not much we can do about it.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is we've got your phone call. We're going to just take a few details from yourself, put a report on the Go to Social Services saying the reason you put it back up is because your neighbours are giving you grief again about various complaints you put in on them, and obviously that you are bothered by the children phone, which you can't be. I'll be honest, I know you're anxious, but we can't stop children phoning in the communal area, especially if it's pouring down with rain. I can't do anything about that.
They play in their this is not a playground.
Yeah.
It is antisocial behaviour when you're doing it in the communal area. It's on the website.
Okay, well you'll have to take that with the council, but we'll say that you've obviously
Shall I just put a knife through my arm now? Take it up
I
with
know
the
it's
council.
frustrating, love, but when you live in a council property or communal area and flats, this is what happens. So I can only advise you on what I can and can't do.
I know, but this is only what happened since the new housing officer started, December 2018.
So what has he not been doing that the other ones did, or what has he been doing that the other ones did?
He doesn't seem, well, I had 3 before that in the space of 5 months, and then he came on in December. And he just doesn't, I don't know what he does with other people, but he doesn't listen, he doesn't answer. He walks out, when there was public meetings, you know, remember when we had public meetings? Whenever I raised a question, he used to get up and walk out. I'm not taking this sort of abuse. He didn't want to answer questions from me. I wasn't rude, I wasn't abusive, I was just asking questions he didn't want to answer.
The problem is, sir, and I will be blunt with you, is when you live in the communal flats, is this council owned? Okay. What you would like and what happened are 2 very different things. When you actually, let me just speak.
Go on.
So although you're not getting the answers you would like to hear, if that's all people can do and you're not happy with it, there's either 2 things you do. You either buy yourself a private property, and if you can't afford to do that, the saying of you've got to just...
It's not so much that. I can't actually look after a property by myself. This is why I'm in council housing.
So you said something to Sergeant Jessett about you're being evicted.
They keep threatening eviction.
Okay. And where do they want to put you?
It's not, they don't want to put me anywhere, they just want to threaten me with eviction.
Yeah. Well,
I've got mental, they know about this. I came here.
What mental health have you got? What have you been diagnosed with?
I've been diagnosed 10 years ago with Asperger's, which is autism. And 3 years ago, I got confirmation of anxiety and depression.
And what medication are you on?
I'm on basically fluoxetine. I'm on a whole bunch of drugs, but mainly for blood pressure and things like that. But
So
fluoxetine,
anything for the actual anxiety or the
Fluoxetine.
Asperger's, fluoxetine. So that's just for the mental health side of things. Everything else is for high blood pressure
and stuff like that.
I know it's not what you want to hear, and I get that. And
honestly,
I know we can't help
I don't
more.
mind the truth. But I've been getting people saying one thing and then people saying something else. I've got assurances before I sign the tenancy from Waltham Forest Housing.
I think though, when you speak to police, you need to say that you've had a letter from the council saying you can't have a camera up in their communal area. Because once you say that, then Sergeant Jessup would have said, right, well if it's council property, council communal area, and they've said you are not allowed to have a camera, then because it's the council's property.
But he knew this.
I spoke to him, and he didn't say that. He said that, as far as he's concerned, you're saying that you've got your own camera up on your personal property, which makes it sound like there's a flat, and it's over your property, over your front door.
I said it was front door in a block of flats.
Okay. Did you he has not heard about this tenancy agreement, and you've not actually said when you rang up that the camera's been told to be taken down. I've read your CAD, and you've not said over the phone that you're not allowed this camera because the council said you have to take it by the 23rd of October, otherwise they will take it down. So if you're telling,
in one of the I don't know if it's in that.
But if you're speaking to Sergeant Jessup, who is a response team officer, he's my sergeant, and you're not telling him the full story, he can only go on what you're telling him. So you didn't tell him that you've been told to take it down point blank, and if you don't take it down, they will remove it, as they well can.
No, I did tell him that they were telling me to take it down. He said, I don't know why. He actually said, I don't understand why they're trying to take it down.
Well, he can only go on half of what he's been told.
But so I sent him the email.
Right, well, I don't know. I just asked him about it, and to be honest, when I read the CAD, I pictured that it was your property, separate, their property.
I sent him the email the council sent to me. He said, he phoned me up, and he said, well, if they've got a problem with it, then give them my email address and tell them to talk to me. So what I did after I spoke to him, straight away, I emailed the senior housing officer and him, and I said to the senior housing officer, you've got a problem, please speak to Sergeant James.
Okay. He's not going to go through my sergeant, so I wouldn't.
Well, that's what he said.
I think he was just trying to help a situation, but he's not a safe neighbourhood sergeant. So from now on, go through the safe neighbourhoods. We will email them. You're just going to have to keep trying. You're going to have to say, I want someone to call me, and we're going to email them with the CAD number. The report we put on, we're going to put in an email. We're going to say you need to contact him, and you need to tell you what is going on with the council, where you stand, and at the end of the day, if the council come and take that down, it says to take down. If they've already sent a letter saying don't take it down.
Why am I being treated unfairly?
I can't answer that, sir.
I've been asking the council for the best part of 9 months now, and they won't answer me.
I can't help you with the council, sir. Okay?
No,
I can only help you with trying to mediate a little bit, but we're response team officers, so we're going to contact your local S&T, tell them to come around, speak to you, speak to your neighbour, speak to council, and I suggest you get a full name on whichever police officer comes around so you know who your local S&T officer is and get their email address so you can email them direct and say I need an update. Because going through 101 or through to us as response team officers, we won't know your background, and the sergeant you spoke to will have no idea of who you are to the next person because we are response team officers. We can only go on the stories
because you're from
us.
Chingford Station.
We do the whole borough, but we are the 999 INS grade. So if you call up and you say, like you have today, we will come, but the Safe Neighbourhood officers, we've been dealing with you for the last how many months or years because they just deal with the neighbourhood of their section. Well, I've never met you before. I have no idea about the past, I have no idea who you spoke to, how many times you called police, and neither will my sergeant, because that's not why we're here. We don't do the whole background check, we just do what can we help you with immediately now. So I say the same to you. You need to start logging who you speak to, full names, what's company they work in.
Because of my health, it's not that easy. I mean, just trying to find an email takes ages for me. And I've had panic attacks about not being able to find emails I know I've sent.
What are you using?
On Linux.
Okay. Maybe just do mailboxes. Little folder, please. Little folder.
I used to do IT support, I know all that business,
Yeah.
but because of mental health deterioration, I just can't manage to
Yeah.
get that organised.
Well, you need to tell them that. You need to tell
I
them.
have
And
to-
do
I've
you
been
have a
telling
key
them to do
worker
it.
or social worker
Oh.
or anything?
I've got an officer started in December 2018. It started going downhill. Then after about 15 months of having my camera up, my neighbour started complaining, and she, lied to the police saying I was moving the camera. Well, you've seen it yourself. It's a static camera. I couldn't point it down any further at the time. I've taken the aerial off now because I've got a fixed network point behind the door, and I can actually point it right down to my door now. And if people, because my neighbours leave doors open, people can come and go whenever they want, and I can't protect any deliveries. And without that camera up,
Do you here? Do you work or do you?
I don't work, no. But without that camera up, I cannot even leave my flat now. For 5 days since I took that camera down, I had to appeal for someone on Facebook to come and throw my rubbish away yesterday.
What do you think will happen if you just go downstairs to rubbish if the door's locked and shut?
The front door's locked and shut.
If your front door's locked and shut, no one's going to get into it. Oh,
I've
believe me.
got a letterbox. They can easily poison my cats. Or throw something in. I'll keep having these nightmares about people pouring stuff in and setting fire to the place.
Well, we'll
It don't take that long to do
we'll
that.
put your concerns on your report, sir. We will say that this is where the anxiety comes in and the paranoia.
And it's not like the council didn't know about this.
I know.
I've done
But
Yeah, I know, go
because
on.
we need your details. But moving forward, I know the issues you've got, but unfortunately you're here now. So please, try and shut your doors. Try and put some earplugs in if the children are playing. But certainly
But
don't
they're
go
not
out
supposed
and.
to be. Right, you don't understand. I've got autism. If they're doing something wrong, it really aggravates me. And that's against their tendency.
Okay,
So it's all the stuff.
But you can't deal with that, and it's not for you to deal with.
The
So
council
you
are-
going out and
the council-
shouting.
I didn't shout.
Well,
I opened the door and she shouted at me.
okay. I suggest
But that's okay.
that we'll put you through to the Safe and Anxious Week. That you need to just be able to. I can't stop what they're going to do. It's not against law. It might be against
No, I know,
agreement,
but it's
not.
it's a council issue. I know.
Yeah. But we can't stop that, and you can't stop that.
Yeah,
All you
I-
can
I-
do
I-
is email your council saying they're playing in the communal area again.
Ten numbers.
I've done that.
Yeah, you
And-
have to keep doing it, sir.
But
I
because-
certainly wouldn't integrate with them though, and get upset about it
But because
in a manner that
the
you
council
might
have put me
shout.
on a single point of contact, and basically there's a note on my record, any communications gets ignored unless it goes through the single point of contact. And the single point of contact, I keep saying this now, for 5 months, is unlawful. It's a forever single point of contact with no end. And that's taken my human rights away. I've just explained it to the senior housing officer this morning.
I see you spoke to someone. there.
No, I've emailed them because they was going to call me yesterday, but they decided, since you brought up several issues, we're not going to call you now. They don't want to discuss
Let's
the
get
issues.
your
They want to
details
discuss
and
the
we'll
single
try
point of
and pass
contact.
it
Yeah.
over, but I don't think it's going to come to anything.
I'm
at
just
this
getting
moment.
confused here because I'm getting all these mixed signals that you can do this, you can't do that, and
I would suggest that you follow what the council are saying.
but the council are telling me they won't justify why I can't have a door camera when other people have got door cameras.
In this block.
Not in this block. I don't know about door cameras in this block. I haven't left my flat since February.
I haven't seen one when I walked up.
But-
Can I just grab your
Yeah.
details?
Sorry.
What's your full name?
William George
Sorry.
Gibbons.
William.
George Gibbons.
What's your date of birth, William?
8th February 1967.
Contact number?
07506
Mm-hmm.
746 385.
Okay, so we're going to go and put Merlin report on.
Another one. I could pay
And
for
we'll
the
email the Safe Neighbours. I know it's frustrating, sir.
I know it's not a
It's
police issue. Thank you for coming round,
Yeah,
but
I can only pass
I'm
it on.
afraid they're going to make stories. I told the council in February they're going to start lying to the police about me, and they've already 11 started that 2-3 months ago. And it's not going to take. She's building a case to say I'm a paedophile or something. The way she spoke to me this afternoon. Stay away from my child. Stay away from the children.
I
These
think
are
what
children.
she was just getting at, because I spoke to her, is if you don't want the children to play, rather than speaking to the children, go and get the adult. As in,
I was
don't
speaking. No,
direct to
no.
the children.
I was speaking to the adult. I was trying to speak to the adult.
Yeah.
I didn't approach the child.
What I suggest. So
I
there's
don't blame
no in
children for
between.
being children.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
just-
done that.
Yeah, just. I don't know what happened because I wasn't here. But what I suggest is moving forward, your anxiety is not going to be fixed, and wherever you go, there's going to be a problem. There might have been
No,
quiet
the-
for 15 months, but you can't stop other people moving in and people
Breaking the
moving
law.
out. Well, they're not breaking
They're
the
not
law.
breaking the law by playing in a corridor. unfortunately.
No, they were breaking the law by having drugs and breaking COVID restrictions.
Well, if they're breaking the law by having drugs, that's a police matter. You just report it, and we will deal with
I
that.
report it to the police, they say it's council. I report it to the council, they say it's the police. That's what happens.
Okay. Well, moving forward, if it's a police matter, we'll deal with it. The council are like any typical council. Everything will take time, and if they have people that they can't help quickly because there's nowhere to put anyone, it's going to be a
Yeah,
never
but you're
ending.
talking like I should move somewhere.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just
That's
saying.
how you're. That's how it's coming
I'm saying
across.
they've got nowhere to put anyone, so they can't say, right, there's an issue here. You've got autism, and they've got children, and the two don't mix.
They're not even supposed to have children in the flats.
Well, I
These
don't
aren't
know.
flats for families. These are
We
single
don't know
person
any of
flats.
this because we're not the council.
council
No, I know.
We're
Yeah.
just trying to advise you going forward what we're going to do to help you. Because
So what am I supposed to do then?
Well, what like I said,
Take the camera down again.
well, if that's what the council told you to do, yeah, and to just keep emailing the council, talking to your care worker or key worker, whoever it is, and just keep talking to the safe neighbourhood, saying this is not getting any better. There shouldn't be families here, but obviously if the council put a family here, they can do what they wish because it's their property. So they can see one tenancy agreement for you, one tenancy agreement for them, and they can literally make it because that's what councils do. They own properties, they've got to put people places.
The
They will
question
just
I haven't
do-
answered in 7 months is why are they forcing me to do things when they're not forcing the others to do
that's
anything?
Well, we don't know
about that.
We don't know
I
that.
can't answer
You
that
walked up the
question.
stairs, did you see all the shoes in the stairs?
No.
No, I didn't.
Well, when you walk out, have a look at all the shoes in the stairs.
But again, that's
Fire regulations. That's what all this started
That's
about.
nothing to do with police.
No, it's nothing to do
either.
with the police, I
Yeah.
know.
We can't help with that. Okay.
Okay.
We'll leave you to it, but that's obviously what we advise for going forward. But yeah.
I know it's frustrating.
It's not so much frustrating, I'm confused because I'm getting mixed signals from everyone. All the time.
I would just follow whatever the council tells you to
Yeah,
do.
but that feels like I'm being bullied.
Okay, but
Because
there
they're
is-
not giving any justification for
Okay,
it.
but if they own a property and they own a communal area, they don't need to. If I owned a property and I said because I own it,
Yeah,
so
but they're
I'm
supposed to
telling
keep the
you,
communal area clear, and they don't. They're in breach of their tenancy on the same grounds that I'm in breach of mine, and yet they're not being chased about their tenancy.
I don't know anything about their tenancy.
I can show you the paperwork.
But
So
then
you've
again,
got
it's
you've
still
got paperwork
nothing-
on their tenancy.
Yes,
Oh, how do you know they've got the same tenancy agreement? I don't know that. How do you know
it's
that
come from my housing officer. He's sent it to everyone's got the same tenancy agreement.
Okay, then if they're breaching it and everyone's got it, you just say they're breaching the tenancy agreement.
I've done that for 7 months and they've done nothing.
Well, they're not going to then, are they? What
Why?
can I do? I don't know. I don't.
Why have
work
I got
for the
me
council.
and not about them?
I have no
We're not.
idea.
We're not. Yeah.
I have no idea. I really can't answer those questions there.
No, I know. Thank you for coming anyway.
Okay,
That's all right.
take care of yourself, okay?
I'll try. Caspi, get off the laptop. You need to get off the laptop. I don't know what it is.